Welcome to Raven on the Rock, Denver's way to expose unique talent and original music from local artists. With your host, Rockin' Raven. You're going to enjoy what you are about to hear on Raven on the Rock. Brought to you by Rockin' Raven Productions and the Scoop 303.
Happy Monday. Welcome back. I hope you're all staying warm. 2 days until New Year's Eve, and I hope the snow stops. I was out today, and it was not pretty, although Emma loves me in the snow. She doesn't slide at all, knock on wood. Is this wood or Formica? Probably Formica. So the weirdest thing happened to me today. I had to take a friend, Jim Scott, over to Floyd's barbershop. And while I was there, Rick Cabot-Podmore, who was supposed to be on the show tonight, called, and he is not feeling good. He can't talk without coughing, so let's all send good wishes to Rick to get better by next Monday when he's coming in. So after I hung up with Rick, I'm sitting there and I hear this kid checking in to get a haircut, and it's Fairbank. And I've been playing 2 of his songs for the last 2 years, and I'll tell you, it's fate. You think?
I would assume so.
And he got a haircut just for this show, and it looks really nice. Floyd does a great job. It's the one over on Wadsworth and Bellevue. And I had never been in there before, and neither had Chris.
Nope.
Did you like your haircut?
I do.
Yeah,
I like it.
They were very nice, weren't they?
It was a nice place.
Yeah, I took Jim because his razor broke. His electric razor broke.
Mm-hmm.
And his beard was getting too long, and he was afraid to, do it himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he got spoiled today. I mean, they did the hot towels on his face.
The massage on the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a surprise, a nice surprise. I like that.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, you got a massage too?
Mm-hmm.
Just for getting your haircut?
Yeah, I think it just comes with the deal, haircut and a massage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start going to Floyd's.
I'm sold.
You got 3 new customers today, Floyd's. And they were all really nice too. But yeah, I couldn't believe when Chris walked in. He's home from spring break, and he has a whole CD.
Yep.
13 songs
Mm-hmm.
I have now.
Yep.
I'm so excited because you are just amazing.
Well, thank you.
You have an awesome voice, and you're a great player, and you write the most amazing songs.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I think you need to get like a contract with the Hallmark Channel. Seriously,
The
I've
Hallmark.
been watching their Christmas shows, for the last 3 weeks on the Hallmark Channel, and the music you write would just fit in with movies.
All right. Well, let's get some licensing deals
Let's
written
do
up.
that.
Let's
Well,
get
I
it into
asked
Hallmark.
Clark Hagan to listen, so
Yeah.
We'll get you hooked up.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's how you been?
I've been well. How about you?
I've been hanging in there. That's a whole nother chapter. We'll talk about that off the air.
All right.
I hurt my hands, so I haven't been working, and I had oral surgery 3 weeks ago.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Keeping busy.
Yes. And in a couple weeks, I'm getting my oral surgeon in here. Yes.
To talk about it?
Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. Josh, who I go to Red Rocks Family Dentistry on Balsam off of over there by Gunther Trudy's and Starbucks.
Yeah.
And Josh was supposed to be there to give me my Happy Cast.
Okay.
Well, Josh didn't make it
Uh-oh.
because he had to go accept an award. Yes.
That's good. Congratulations, Josh.
Yes. But my dentist, Raquel Denson, sings.
Very nice.
Now, I want them to come on the show to talk about dental hygiene and,
Right.
and all that good stuff because they're great over there. But they both sing. I haven't heard Josh sing, but Raquel sang to me through the whole thing. She has the
Wow.
most amazing voice.
So you weren't put out?
Well, I was drugged. I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember her singing Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Anything that came on the radio, she was singing.
Oh,
and it
yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
most relaxing. I mean, they say music cures everything. And I'm telling you, it's better than
Well, it
Happy
didn't hurt.
Gas.
Didn't
no,
hurt.
it did not. And I was just so relaxed, and I don't even remember her yanking my tooth out, you know. I just remember the singing.
Did you have to drink through it, eat through a straw after that, or?
I'm still pretty much eating mush. Yeah, it takes a while.
Sounds exciting.
Frosted Rice Krispies are my friend.
Okay.
You can just swallow those things. But yeah, so that's been going on with me. And the last couple weeks, I've played a lot of music and not talked a lot.
I believe that.
And I wish I would have had your CD a couple weeks ago. How did we lose touch?
We have it now.
You know, we were talking about Facebook, and they're limiting us because when I saw Chris today at Floyd's, I realized I hadn't seen a lot of your posts lately.
Yep. Yeah, Facebook is not very nice anymore, but
no.
Yeah.
So y'all have to look up Chris Fairbank.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2. Do you have 2 or 3 Facebook pages?
Well, just 2.
2?
Well, just my own personal, and then the music page. So
right.
I've got 2.
Yeah,
Yep.
so you have to look him up. Or you can go to chrisfairbankmusic.com.
Yep.
And you can download Letters for the Wind.
Yep.
Which we will be listening to tonight.
Yep.
All right, so tell me, you're only 21.
Yes.
And you're just so talented already.
Well, thank you.
How did this all start?
Well, when I was younger, like 3rd grade, I was doing voice lessons and piano, and then I got too cool for piano and voice, so I stopped.
In 3rd grade? You were too cool?
I think around 6th grade is when I got too cool for that. And then when I was 13, my grandparents bought me a drum set, which has to be the worst thing for a 13-year-old to have.
What did your parents do that was so bad?
Exactly. I had a lot of rules. My dad gave me a lot of rules, and number 1 was pretty much don't play. But so I had the drum set in the basement, and one of my best friends, he played acoustic guitar. So it was for a while this really weird mashup. We weren't a band or anything, but we'd jam all the time, and I was on the drums and he was on the acoustic guitar, and he was really folky and all this stuff. And ultimately, I got into a guitar class my first semester of freshman year of high school, and without the expectation that I would continue playing. I mean, we went to the music store and looked for the cheapest guitar. Mm-hmm. We had a verbal agreement with the owner that we would be returning it in 5 months so that we could get our money back. And so I'm playing this thing, and it was the cheapest thing they had. The neck was warped, the body was cracking. You couldn't be a good guitar player and make this thing sound good. I mean, you just can't sound good on a bad guitar like that one. And so I struggled for about 5 months or whatever, and then we return it, and I'm under the assumption that I'm not playing anymore. I played for about 4 months. I knew maybe 3 songs, 2 chords-ish, I don't know. And that was that. And then it was Christmas time, and at this point, we would go out to Des Moines where my grandparents were. And I've got 2 sets of grandparents out there, and both of them had classical guitars, which they both offered to me to take back now that I knew how to play, sort of. And so I said, no, I don't need to take it. It's okay. It's
and
whatever.
This is 6th grade still?
No, this is freshman year in high school.
Freshman year in high
Sorry.
school, okay.
Freshman year in high school. And so I'm telling them, no, I don't need it. And then as we're leaving, we drove there. As we're leaving, my papa, we'll differentiate it, my papa and my grandpa. My papa took my grandpa's guitar and put it in the car after everything was packed up. So one grandfather gifted the other grandfather's guitar to me, and we drive back to Colorado, and I just started playing. And so I really started playing with that one and continued to teach myself and write, and here we are so many years later. And
did you ever think you would write?
No, and even now I question how I wrote the last song. If I'm trying to write a song, it's like the hardest thing in the world. You're like, how did I write this one earlier? That's got to be the end. I can't possibly make a better song than that. And so
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it just comes to you sometimes
through things that happen in your life.
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of things that happen to me and things that I see happen to other people. A lot of my recent stuff, so stuff that's not on this album, were things that I was observing through, other people's lives. So when I was living in Austria, life was kind of relationship-wise pretty mundane, monotonous almost. And so I was writing songs for my friends seeing what was going on in their life. And so I had a lot of fun doing that. And so maybe you'll hear some of those later.
Yeah. So what would you like to play first?
You might as well just start it off with the first one, Her Heart. That's how we kick off the album. So.
Yeah, they didn't load that way.
Oh, okay. Her Heart. Whichever one. That's the beginning of the album.
Who'd you write this for? Is this a friend?
Yeah, I wrote this. I guess it would be somebody's heart a while ago.
Okay. All right. Here's Her Heart by Chris Fairbank, and we will be back with more of him.
Her heart lay where the sunflowers grow, but miles and miles of beautiful yellow. But she had no this great escape. Her heart it lay face to face. Ooh, ooh, She always knew what's best for me. Her heart and I with the cherry tree. Spin out seas like it's meant to be. Her heart and I were free to sing. Shadow of mine. If I hold on to my shadow, I hold on to lost time. So I take back my memories and I lock them close inside, so that I have something marvelous to look at when I die. Oh, 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 oh. I know why the caged bird sings, loneliness and a misery. And I think I know how the poor man feels, the pride of what I know is real. Oh, 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 oh.
This is Remus Tucker. You're listening to Raven on the Rock, only on VRDO Radio.
Okay, I just have to say thank you, Papa, for sticking Grandpa's guitar in the car. What a talent.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I've got a little brother.
A little brother?
Yep.
Little? How old?
He's a senior in high school, so he's 18.
Oh, little.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah,
he's probably bigger than you too.
He
oh
is.
yes, I saw the pictures. I saw the picture.
He is bigger than me.
Yes.
Well, he'd like to say that he's taller than me, and I'm not too sure if that's true. But I wrote a song a few months ago where I actually mention him, and I mention all the fights that I always won.
Is that on the CD?
It's not.
So
I wrote
you
that
can
out in
sing that
Nashville.
for us
Yeah,
later.
that's a
Cool.
sad one. But I've never lost a fight to him, even though he is taller. Sort of.
Well, you got your hair cut now, so he might even be taller.
Yeah.
All right, so you're talking about Austria. Mm-hmm. You lived there?
I did for about 6 months.
How'd you get there and why?
I was studying abroad, so I took a plane.
Which broad? What was her name? No.
Well, you say that, but
Oh,
well, the songs I wrote out there, all of them were about, like I was saying, that it was observational, and I was one of just a handful of guys who was abroad, and I was the only American, and so all of these songs were about a different girl, kind of as an observation of what their relationships were. And so I've named them after the girl. And so I actually did want to title the EP Abroad, and because it is kind of it's both, it's a play on words, both I was abroad when I wrote it, and it's about abroad. Each song is about abroad. So
very cool.
And all the girls know that there's a song written about them, and they're all okay with that.
Well, that's good.
So
very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it about Austria that everybody goes there? Tell me. Because my son went there, and I don't know why they went to Austria, but...
Well, for me, I wanted to study abroad, and I had been to a lot of places in Europe already, and I wanted to go back to Europe. I really like the history there, and so I wanted to go back, but I wanted to challenge myself. So I wanted to go somewhere I'd never been, and I wanted to go somewhere I didn't know the language. So I
that's a challenge.
Austria was available, and
did you watch The Amazing Race to like?
No, I didn't. I so I was excited, and I went out, and yeah, it was very much it taught me a lot of how to live and kind of a little bit of the world. Is music
it's
beautiful.
Big over there?
It wasn't for music, actually. It was just I wanted to get out and go see the world a little bit. So
because my son went there with his orchestra.
Well, Mozart's from Salzburg, so and then worked in Vienna. So
right.
You have a lot of classical music that came out of Austria. I think Heidel is also from Austria. So for a while, I guess that was kind of the music capital of the world.
Yeah, they went to Vienna and Prague, and there was one other place that they went. But the funny story was the poor kid played the cello, and they had to play at this church.
Okay.
On top of this hill.
And he had to get it up there.
And the bus couldn't make it up the hill, so they all had to get out and walk. And here's poor Sean with his cello.
Yeah. Well, I love the cello. It's a beautiful instrument.
Yeah. 3 boys played the cello. Three of my 4 boys played the cello, and Christopher chose the trombone.
It's an interesting take there.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
But my youngest one plays the guitar now, electric guitar. He plays the blues.
Very nice.
Very proud of him. He's 16, so we'll see where that takes him.
Nice.
Yeah. He's in New York, so...
Wow.
Real close to Juilliard.
Yeah, maybe he'll get there.
How proud would I be,
Yeah, I mean, that would be really neat.
That would be very neat. So, you said you wanted to challenge yourself and go somewhere where you didn't know the language. Do you feel that way with your music? You said it's hard to keep writing. Is that a challenge for you?
Yeah, well, I guess it's hard for me to write when I have nothing to write about, usually. I'm trying to get better and co-write with some people and, sit down and say, we're going to write a song and then do it. But and I had the opportunity to meet 2 of my personal idols, Brett Dennen and Josh Ritter, a few months ago. They actually played in town at the Paramount Theater, and they had a songwriters kind of deal in the beginning, and I got to meet them, and that was kind of my question was, what do you write about? What do you do when you don't have anything to write about? And what Brett Dennen said really struck me is because he said that his life, and I guess kind of like how mine is as well, is very much monotonous, and there aren't too many high peaks and not too many low peaks. It's easy to just cruise along, and but it's hard to write a song when you're not either at the highest of highs or the lowest of lows. So he just says he doesn't write, and so so maybe sometimes I don't write, but I try. That's why I started writing other people's songs when they were at their lows, because it was easy for me to, as a third person, kind of tell that narrative that a lot of folk music does, that I couldn't just put myself in those shoes. I had to see it for myself. I had to see it somebody else.
Do you want some advice from an old person
Love it.
Who doesn't write music but enjoys life? You're in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Go over to Pierce Park, walk around the lake, look at the ducks, look at the mountain, drive up to the mountains,
Yeah.
Now, when you're back in Iowa, I'm from Chicago, so you can back home. You can write about the cornfields
Yeah,
and
that's true.
the poor lonely scarecrow.
That's true. Yeah.
Just look around.
And that's really like the key to inspiration. I think is anything can become a song. You have to just listen intently to what other people say, because I've stolen things that people have just said in conversation to me that I just think sounds good.
Right.
Like the last song I wrote was very much stolen from a conversation that I was having with my roommate. And so I'd love to show that later. So yeah.
Is that a new one too that you wrote? That's not on the CD?
Yeah, that's the newest one. That one I wrote a couple months ago.
Nice. You want to play it for us now?
Sure.
I'll go to a commercial and we will be right back with more Chris Fairbank's live.
Awesome.
Fairbank. I'm sorry.
No worries.
No S. Just
No
like
S.
no S on Raven on the Rock.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Pepperdine's integrated approach to business solutions offers you access to an array of products and services through decades of experience, state-of-the-art production processes, as well as inspired technological innovation. Whether your business or organization requires printed marketing materials, promotional ads, specialty items, commercial signage, stamps, or simply functional internal forms, their dedicated staff will provide the level of personal service and support your project deserves. Pepperdine's is located at 790 Umatilla Street, Denver, Colorado, 80204, or call 303-595-3663.
As always, Raven on the Rock reminds you to please drink responsibly and always designate a sober driver.
All right, we are back with Chris Fairbank, and he is going to. Which one are you going to sing to us? The one you stole the.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I have a roommate who's been battling depression since January of this year, so just about a year now, and a long turn of events caused him to medically withdraw from this past semester. And so, but before that happened, he was like, "Hey, pretty hungry. I kind of want to chat. You want to go get some food?" And so he was feeling KFC, and I was feeling Taco Bell. And we luckily had a KFC Taco Bell just a few blocks away. And so we went there and had this conversation that had no merit of being in a KFC Taco Bell, but it was a great conversation about life and, where he is and kind of what he needed. And I extrapolated that to kind of everybody. It doesn't really matter where you're at in life. I think everybody needs this. So,
all right, let's hear it.
I need you, don't you need me? Ain't no future I can see. Tomorrow may be far away. Please just give me one more day. 'Cause I need something to believe in, keep me going on. So when you leave me, don't be sorry, 'cause we had something all along. She needs him and he needs her. Found each other searching for a one-night cure. Look into their eyes in the morning light. Close them once again to say goodnight. 'Cause they need something to believe in, to keep them going on. So don't be moaning in the morning, 'cause they had something all along. We need them and they need us. A woman to love and a man to trust. A face to kiss and a hand to hold. Someone to share when we get old. 'Cause we need something to believe in, keep us going on. So if tomorrow brings us sorrow, we had something all along, and that something kept me strong.
Well, this is just amazing.
Well, thank you.
You're 21 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't you call me ma'am. I'm only 27. No, you're 21 years old, and the words in that song, how'd you figure that out at 21? I haven't figured that out at 27.
Well, like I said, it was just that conversation
Right.
where he was depressed, and not so much. And honestly, the conversation had nothing to do with the person.
Right.
But he looked at me and just said, I need something to believe in. And
Right.
and he had found that. And so I just thought that was a powerful thing, and I took it from there, and it kind of took a life of its own. And
That's an amazing song.
thank you, I appreciate that.
And see, that could so be in a Hallmark movie.
Well, I'll call him up.
Yeah. No, I'll help you. People, you do need something to believe in. You need something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, your life,
Yeah. So.
And sometimes, you just walk into a barbershop and shit happens, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
That was I think it's fate. I really do. You needed to be on my show, and I needed more of Chris Fairbank music, because isn't he amazing, you guys? Just amazing. And you can go to chrisfairbankmusic.com and get this CD. Well, not the
Yeah.
one he just sang. That's the next CD.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Then I'm so excited. So when is that one coming out?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Everything is written, and I'm battling between if I want to release an EP with the stuff I wrote abroad and package that as abroad, and then, or go the route of a full album. And so it's time consuming, and I'm moving a lot, and so it's difficult to know exactly what I want to do yet. So, but it's.
We'll ask Clark.
Yeah.
I think he's going to love you too. Oh, wow. So, what do your parents think of all this? I know what Grandpa and Papa think.
Well, they help. They're awesome. They always encourage both myself and my brother to pursue what we want to do. And so, if I need help with financing the album, they're willing to throw a little bit of money my way or whatever. And I think that's kind of a nice little blessing to have people who want you to do what you want to do. So
if I win the lottery, I'm throwing a lot of money your way, because I so believe in you. I always have.
Well, thank you.
And I'm just so proud to know that you kept I don't know how we lost touch.
Well, distance I
knew
help.
you were in Iowa at school. Now, what college are you going to?
I go to Drake University. It's in Des Moines, Iowa.
And you're studying,
Marketing.
and you
Yeah,
want to
business.
be.
Well, I still kind of want to do music in the music industry, and either licensing or publishing. But through my studies, I have enjoyed marketing a lot. It's a lot of fun. So I'm definitely keeping that on my radar as well. Kind of seeing where we end up with all of that fun stuff. So
I went to college for marketing, but I only majored a year. And then my kids, needed more help than I had. So
yeah.
I gave up school, but I think this is where I'm supposed to be.
Well, that's good. So long as everybody gets there.
Yeah. And I'm going to start marketing my show, because I believe in it, because I believe in all the musicians here, and
Yeah.
They have to be heard. My show goes all over the world, so they're probably listening to you in Austria.
I hope so.
I do have a few people there. I have some people in Australia that tune in all the time, and Japan.
Well, I actually sent some well wishes this morning to a couple people who are out there, so maybe they're listening
In Austria?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Well, now they're in Bosnia and France, but yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're graduating this summer.
Yep, graduate in May.
Yay. Are you scared?
Not so much scared, but it's kind of nerve-wracking thinking, where I get these job offers from and what will, end up happening with, even just the city you live in is going to change your life so much. So
Right.
A little bit, but I know.
Are you trying to get anything here in Denver or Nashville?
Well, kind of. I'm
Don't
open up
leave
to.
us.
I'm open to a lot of different places. Denver is definitely a possibility, but I'm looking mainly towards Nashville, and possibly maybe Des Moines, but I don't know yet. Yeah, we'll see. It's still far away, isn't it?
No.
5 months?
No, it's not. You're going to blink and you're going to be 50.
Oh, I know.
You're going to say, what the heck? And, they always say the older you get, the faster time goes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so true. It's so sad.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's just like you blink. Now, how'd you end up in Colorado?
I'm born and raised.
You were born
Same
in-
house. Yep.
Oh, isn't that cool?
It is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I love the state.
So both of your parents are from Iowa?
Yep. They're
How'd-
both from Iowa.
How'd they get out here?
They went to school in Minnesota, and then my mom got a job out here, and then later my
Nice.
dad got a job out here.
Nice.
So
And you and Matt?
Hmm?
Is your brother's name
no,
Matt?
his name is Will.
Will. Oh,
Yep.
Will. Where did I get Matt? That Hallmark movie I was watching. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
So what does Will do? Is Will musical?
He does. He's at a guitar lesson right now, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he's at a guitar lesson right now. Yeah, so he plays a little bit of guitar, and he's still taking lessons, so he's bound to be better than I am pretty soon here. That's about all I got. What I just played. So, yeah,
So we have another Fairbank to look forward to?
yeah.
Think you guys will ever do anything together?
If we're in the same place, I guess
Gotta make it happen, dude.
that's true. Well, and he's looking for schools right now, and he might end up at Drake, but
Yeah.
it could be in Wisconsin, or we don't know with him. So,
So he's a senior?
yep. Everybody's lives are in the air right now.
Yeah. You just gotta have faith and it'll
Yep.
take you on the right path.
Yeah, I'm not too worried yet, so we'll see.
And you know what? Don't worry, because what's worrying going to do? It's not going to fix it, is
That's-
it?
No, that's true.
No,
You're not gonna
you
get
have to
anything
stay-
fixed with that.
No, you have to stay positive and think positive, and don't freak out.
Yep.
I learned that a long time ago. Well, not that long ago. I learned it too late in life, but worrying and you just got to stay positive.
Yeah, I hear that.
And you have a lot to be positive about.
Well, thank you.
Somebody's going to snatch you up. You can play this show for him. This can be your portfolio.
I will.
I'll
Will
get
do.
it on a CD for you. So what are we going to play next?
Well, we can go right into Night's End there. That's the second song on the album. I don't know how it downloaded for you, but this one is one about me. It's not observational. It had nothing to do with anybody else but me. And I wasn't at a low point that I thought, but I turned it into one just in the words. So it's kind of about drinking. So
Oh, yeah. And
Not that
when
I-
did you turn 21?
March.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Was this your first lesson?
Well, it was just I was messing around on the guitar and had this in my head, and then my roommate went to go get his girlfriend before we all went to the bar, and he left, and I was still in my room, so I decided to take a shot, and then I thought I just took a shot alone.
That's not good.
Yeah, but it's okay. It wasn't that I was doing that the whole night, just one shot, but it led to the song. I wrote the first two verses and the chorus, and or the first 3 verses in the chorus, and then the next morning I wrote the last verse, and it's just perfect the way that it is.
Nice. What was it a shot of? Do I want to know?
Hawkeye vodka.
Ooh, nasty.
Straight vodka. More a pull than a shot, but for the story's sake.
All right, after this station identification, here's Night's End by Chris Fairbank.
You're listening to VRDO, your variety station. Visit our website at www.vrdoradio.com.
I look at the world through a glass, filled to the top with my night's end. And through the glass I see the world just as damp as the last time I checked. Now sometimes I raise it to the sky, because I know it tastes better when it comes from so high. But I wince when the end hits my lips, so I loosen up and I watch the glass slip. Now the world's crashing around me and I just can't help but close my eyes, 'cause the world is just as wasted, so I guess I'll be alright. Now maybe if I'm lucky I'll see you in the end, but when I open my eyes, the end's all that I am. Now just as the glass hits the floor, I'm suddenly reminded of the night before, and now the ground is littered with shame. But I guess the fucking world is to blame. Now the world's crashing around me and I just can't help but close my eyes, 'cause the world is just as wasted, so I guess I'll be alright. Now maybe if I'm lucky I'll see you in the end, but when I open my eyes, the end's all that I am. Now maybe tomorrow I will try to pick up the pieces that I broke that night, or maybe I'll just leave them there, 'cause we know that the world just won't care. Now the world's crashing around me and I just can't help but close my eyes, 'cause the world is just as wasted, so I guess I'll be alright. Now maybe if I'm lucky I'll see you in the end, but when I open my eyes, the end's all that I am.
Dang. That is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad my stitches in my mouth are feeling better, because I can't stop smiling right now.
Man,
I am just so proud of you, Chris.
thanks.
So when we met a couple of years ago, you sent me the song Smile for my show.
Yes.
And I had no idea who you were. Mm-hmm. And then you found me a place to live.
That's true.
That is true. I had to move. when was that? That was August of 2000. What is this, 14? So that was August of
2011, right?
11. Yes. I
Yeah.
had to move. And, no, it was 10.
Was it?
Yeah. Because I met Joe December 31st, 2011. And I was at, no, that's right. So it was
Yeah.
12 because I had to leave Kelly's house, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it was the beginning of 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And I had posted something on Facebook about having to move. And you sent me a message, and I still had no idea who you were. I didn't realize that you were Chris Fairbank that sent me Smile, that I had been playing on my show.
Yeah.
And you said, well, I know a place. She's looking for a roommate.
Yeah.
And then when I walked in the living room, and you were sitting on the couch, and I'm like, that's you.
Yep.
See, isn't
It's a
life
small
weird?
world. Yeah, it is.
It's fate.
Exactly.
That's why you got a haircut today, dude.
Yep. I mean, when I woke up, I wasn't planning on it. and
Yeah.
I thought I should get a haircut.
Yeah.
I had nothing else to do today.
So you can write a song about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just moving along here. It hasn't even been an hour yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna play another song before I ask you some more questions.
Okay.
What should we play?
Well, you mentioned Smile, and Smile is actually the next song on the album, so we might as well keep this chronological thing going, don't you think?
All right. This is one of my favorite. Well, it was my favorite because I've been playing it over and over and over for 2 years.
Well, here's a new twist on it, I think.
Yeah.
Not much, but it's a little different.
All right, here we go. Smile with Chris Fairbank.
Who taught you how to smile? Make it all worthwhile. Laugh in the face of ultimate disgrace and a sing along into a broken song. Who taught you how to dream? Almost every day it seems. Rise above all the broken-hearted love and to envy all the people that we meet. And who taught you how to smile? Who taught you how to think? To know what everyone else sees, and to be comfortable in an uncomfortable place, and to steal away the morning's grace. Who told you where to be, where to go to be free, and who to know, and whose stories left untold, and the best place to die when we're old. And who taught you how to smile, and who taught you how to smile, and who taught you how to smile. Who taught you how to smile, make it all worthwhile. Laugh in the face of ultimate disgrace and to sing along to a broken song, to a broken song, to a broken song.
I I love that song. It makes me smile too. All your songs make me smile, and I think all your songs are going to be making everybody else smile too.
That'd be great.
So, Lover. Is this
Yeah.
one about one of your broads?
Yeah, sort of. Kind of at the end of a relationship, but yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's yeah. Might as
Alright.
well just give it a play, I guess.
Yeah, all right. Here's Lover by Chris Fairbank.
They call me a lover because I loved her, even though she said she loved me too. And I know how hurt feels right now, because when loving's gone, hurt's all that you can do. Now I'm a goner because I lost her, even though they say she lost me too. And I know how it feels right now to be losing love and hurting like a fool. But don't look back, back's where it all went wrong. That's where love is gone and where hurt comes from. So take your time to learn to love again, and just to realize where all you've been. Now I'm a fighter, and I ride her, just to prove that I know what to do. And I know how it feels right now, when your letter's burning, there's nothing you can do. But don't look back, back's where it all went wrong. That's where love is gone and where hurt comes from. So take your time to learn to love again, and just to realize where all you've been. And I may have kissed her walking out the door, and I may have missed her when she wouldn't call anymore. And I may have loved, loved, loved that final goodbye. And I may have loved, 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 I caught her in a lie. But don't look back, back's where it all went wrong. That's where love is gone and where hurt comes from. So take your time to learn to love again, and just to realize where all you've been.
This is Travis from Ghost of Ivy, and you're listening to Raven on the Rock.
I'm just so amazed, Chris. You're 21 years old. How do you nail this? I mean, that is so, that song, I love it. It's so true.
Well,
Don't look back.
yeah, well, for me, I had been in a relationship where this is, of course, like I was like 15 years old at this time, so don't judge me on what I'm about to say, because we've all been 15 before.
And
but
we
you
all
know,
learn.
You fall in love right away. When I was like 15, I was in love right away, and she broke my heart. So then the next relationship I'm in, I had this huge wall. You know, it was impossible for this girl to, you know, really like get in, you know, break through, gain my
Right.
trust, all this stuff, you know, and then she breaks my heart. So it's
Right.
kind of this thing where it doesn't matter if you have no wall or if you have a wall. It's like, I neither one was working for me. So this was kind of my way of saying that, like, you know, this isn't what happened in the past. It doesn't have to affect your future and especially your future relationships, because, you know, for me, it would make no sense for me to build just a bigger wall and make somebody else, you know, work even harder to tear it down, get closer to me. And then, you know, what did I lose in the beginning there of that relationship that, you know, could have been better? And then, you know, if it does turn into heartbreak, what's new, you know? So that's
better than going
is.
back 3 times.
Yeah.
To the same one.
That's true. You also have to learn when to say.
You would think you would learn.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's difficult to break a heart all the way through, I guess. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna be listening to that song a lot. I might even try singing that one. I loved it.
Thank
all
you.
right, so tell me about this CD that you made, Letters for the Wind.
Well, all of the songs were written in kind of that time of my life. And so I wanted to make that a product and put that out. And so while I was abroad, I started a Kickstarter, you know, to raise some funds so that I could put it out.
See, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, that's Facebook's fault, I
Yeah.
guess, you know. And maybe some of mine, maybe I didn't do the marketing enough. But we got the Kickstarter campaign, got the finances, and I just started, you know, setting things into place. This is still while I was in Europe, so I had to book Evergroove Studios out in Evergreen and find a master and find the people to play on this album, because I don't have a band, so all of the people you hear here are you know, they're musicians
musician.
Yeah, and they're all Colorado musicians. A lot of them I knew or had a close connection with through somebody else. So the bassist Parker Murphy, he went to Dakota Ridge with me.
Yeah.
And he's in a band called the 1039s. Feel free to check them out.
Whoa.
So he played bass, a great bassist. And actually, the second day I was in town, I went and got an upright bass so that he had about a month so he could play it on the album. And then so Julie Stratton, she's in the Mile Markers, and they're out of Colorado. She's the female voice on there, and that was kind of a quick audible, because the girl that I had initially, you know, ended up, we had communication issues and I couldn't get a hold of her, and you know, I was still in the studio, we're recording this thing, and I had scheduled it out that she would be in the next. I was like, we'll do bass and drums, we'll do this, you know, and we're supposed to do vocals, female vocals that day, and I still am not getting word from her, you know, and it's like the day before, and I said, Brad, who the guy who recorded and mixed it, it's like, Brad, I know you mentioned Julie, see if we can get her in, and she just happened to be free and came in, and so that was great, you know, and they all did a fantastic job. The Pravita String Quartet was connection through Parker. The drummer was an intern at the studio, you know, and so it was kind of this collaborative effort too, because I came with these bare songs that I had already recorded the vocals and guitar to. And then we just had time to throw things at it, because, you know, and it is a learning process for me. And that's kind of why I'm maybe a little hesitant into getting into the next one, because I want it to be smoother. I want the people that I'm having play, though they all did amazing and they're all phenomenal musicians, I'd like to know what the song's gonna sound like before I get in there.
No, you don't like being surprised.
So, well, and it's good to have the ability to be creative and add to it. But it's scary when you're on a time crunch, you know, you're saying, well, we've got 8 hours today. We need to track all these drums. And if we don't like it, you know, when is it coming in? You know, it's time consuming. So it's a little bit of that. So after we recorded and mixed it, it went down to Airshow Mastering down in Boulder for David Glasser. And he did a phenomenal job putting the finishing touches on it there, and artwork
sounds awesome.
The artwork on this is done by a guy named Drew Albinson. I know him. He's went to school with me out in Des Moines, and he's out in New York now working for the zoo.
Really?
Doing graphics for the New York Zoo.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a pretty interesting, cool job. But I wanted it watercolor. As you can see,
it's beautiful.
It's watercolor, and it's a 1-to-1 replica. So what he painted is exactly this size, and it's just transposed onto this. So each one of these, it's you know, a continuing landscape. That's the idea.
And if you want to see what we're talking about, go to chrisfairbankmusic.com.
Yeah, you can see it, and so
yeah. Turn that back around so that when I take your picture for Facebook, it's sitting there.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. I like it a lot. Thank you, Drew.
Yeah, thank you, Drew. And I'm still going to thank Papa again. That he knew. He knew.
Yeah, there's something in there. A smart man.
Yes. So, Jocelyn, is that what we're going to play next?
Yeah, we can.
Tell me
The
about
album is in memory to Giles Jocelyn. He was a guy who lived on my floor freshman year and tragically committed suicide about this time, actually, that freshman year, so 3 years ago.
Around Christmas?
During winter break. And so I wrote this song just as a response, and ended up, continuing this. And Giles is very cool because before he when he was still in high school, he started this benefit concert. He's from a pretty small town in Iowa, and so he started this concert where people would, the funds that were raised at the concert would then go to pay for musical instruments and music lessons. I think just lessons for kids who weren't financially able to take lessons so that they could do this. And so they invited me out to perform at this last one there at the end of my junior year, so last year, going into summer. So I drove all the way out there. It was like a 3-hour drive, and play the show, and it was great, well attended, and I donated the money, the proceeds from all my CD sales from that to his charity as well.
Nice.
So it's a song that was, that was one that was inspired by tragedy, but I think will continue to. I know that it was good for the family to have this song and the album, and I think it's good. It's a good memorial for Giles. So
yeah. And I haven't heard the song yet, but I'm sure it's probably going to help some other people too.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, depression sucks.
It's not good.
It's not.
And I'm fortunate to have never had it, but a lot of people do, and so I do what I can, and I typically end up writing songs for people.
And like you said, I think a lot of depression comes from not having anything to look forward to.
Yeah, well,
and not having anything to believe in.
Yeah, and the hardest thing, and it's like, again, I don't understand it. I don't feel depressed, but it's something that's the problem, is that people don't understand this person's struggle, and so it's not like a bruise you can put a Band-Aid on or whatever. It's something that is difficult to handle, and so people tend to think lightly of it. Get over it. Especially if it's something small that's making them depressed. Like if an aunt dies, and even if you can be sad, but to be depressed, a lot of people don't get that. So but it's just a thing that happens sometimes, I guess.
When my ex-husband left me for another woman in New York, I thought it was the end of the world. I had nothing. I was devastated.
Well, and that's understandable.
But if I would have killed myself then,
yeah,
oh my gosh, I would have missed so much.
Yeah, and
I know that when you're in that depression state, you don't think anything is ever going to happen good again. Yeah, but it does.
And that's the unfortunate bit about all of it. But so I tend to write the song for the person, and it's also to let them know that somebody's thinking about them, and maybe this one was too late, but and so Jocelyn, he obviously was a good musician. He was passionate about it. He started the charity, and he was a violinist. And so it just was natural that there had to be a violin in this song, right? Well, so I had scheduled everything and we're ready to go, but I still didn't have anything written for violin for this song. And so I'm out in Texas the week before we're in the studio. I had already met with the quartet, so we're kind of like locked in at this point. And I'm in the shower, and everybody else is getting ready to go to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium to tour it. And I'm getting out of the shower. Like, while I'm in the shower, I hear, I'm thinking about this song still, and it finally clicked. The violins clicked. And so they go, and I said, yep, no, I'm going to stay here. You guys go. I sit in the corner of the hotel room, and I'm writing the violins. And I don't play violin. I hardly read sheet music, so this was a struggle, but I did it. And so I'm so happy that I was able to hear it, because it wouldn't have been right if there weren't violins in it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So Giles.
Giles Jocelyn, yep.
All right, this one's for you. Hope you're listening.
Take a breath. Take your time. Step back and pray in the moonlight. Cherish these moments with just you and the love of your life. With the string on his finger, her body in his arms, 2 a.m. and Jocelyn played along, with the melody quite certain as her last note falls. 2 a.m. and Jocelyn sang his song. Smile silent, nod your head, sway back and forth to the words that she said. Her heart is warm from the gentle touch of his hand. With the string on his finger, her body in his arm, 2 a.m. and Jocelyn played along, with the melody quite certain as her last note falls. 2 a.m. and Jocelyn sang his song. Openly love and set yourself right. Step back and pray in the moonlight. Hang out your coat and kiss her cheek goodnight. With the string on his finger, her body in his arm, 2 a.m. and Jocelyn played along, with the melody quite certain as her last note falls. 2 a.m. and Jocelyn sang his song. Take a breath, take your time, step back and pray in the moonlight. Cherish these moments with just you and the love of your life.
But Giles was looking down on you when you wrote that song, huh?
There at the end for sure.
Wow. Now you have something else that goes with this, right?
Well, to follow that sad train, I guess. This song. It's called Sarah. And Sarah was a girl from abroad, and the thing with Sarah is that she had a boyfriend who had been an exchange student the semester before, and she was an exchange student but there for the year, and so he had gone back to Ireland, and so now she's in this kind of long distance relationship thing, and Sarah was the bubbliest person, always big smile, everything like that. Yeah. But when we would go out to a bar or even just try to like drink with just friends, just hanging out casually, she would have this smile that you knew wasn't real,
right?
And
wishing she wasn't alone.
Yeah, and
I know that smile.
And so she's got this smile, and they ended up breaking up pretty soon. After that, you could tell she was depressed. But I wrote this song, just as a response to what she was portraying, because it was this girl who was so happy on the outside, but if you knew her, she wasn't. So. Right. And the thing is with this song is any girl that hears this song has told me they identify with it.
I'm sure.
Which is sad because it's about a depressed girl. So whenever every show I play this at, I always say, if you do identify with the song, I hope it helps you instead of.
Well, let me just tell you from experience. I believe life is a learning experience. And you need to have, I tell people all the time, you need to have the bad stuff so you can appreciate the good stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
If life was good all the time, you would just take it for granted because you wouldn't realize you were at a good point in your life.
Yeah.
So you need some, downtime.
Yeah, you do. You do. But don't stay there.
No, don't stay.
Yeah, so this song is called Sarah.
All right, here we go.
She used to smile, white as an owl in the middle of the spring. Wish you'd have seen it. A girl who loved everyone and everything. She used to sing, yeah, sing me a song to the wind when I'd leave. She used to dance, yeah, dance with the hollow brush of the tree. But now she's gone. Her body's here, but laughter's just a stranger to her now. She cried out for help, but no one knew she's dancing all by herself, all by herself, all by herself. There was a time she set the world aside just to listen to me think. Packed all the bags because she thought it could be neat to see the sea. Yeah, she'd run away, yeah, but I never worried if she'd be back again. But now I'm afraid, yeah, that she's lost in her head without an escape. I gave her my hand, but cigarette burns are what I got in return. I guess that's my fault. Who the hell can catch a shooting star when it falls? Oh, when it falls. Oh, when it falls. She's seen the world, yeah, but the world never seen her enough. Yeah, I guess that's our fault. Seems like everyone tried to make a stop from turning the key. Yeah, locking out everyone who's ever looked in. She turned away from me. Yeah, so I'm left to guess she'll know where I'll be. But I walked away, leaving her to fight this awful world on her own, till I heard my name, soft in a whisper asking me to come home. I gave her my hand, and she held tight as I pulled her away from the world. I thought she was safe, but the burns on my hands, they don't say the same. 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 Oh no, but they'll stay the same.
Okay, everyone out there that can relate, raise your hand. I'm thinking there's a lot of hands raised right now. Wow, beautiful. This whole CD is going to be beautiful, isn't it? I bet.
I hope so. That's the goal, I guess. So, but thank you very much.
All right, well, we're going to go to a commercial, and we will be right back with more Chris Fairbank.
Supporting local businesses doesn't stop with the economy. It is all about creating a stable and vibrant community. Stimulate our economy by browsing Rely Local's business directory. Saving money doesn't have to cost you, and you no longer have to weed the coupon books that fill your mailbox. Just print them from Rely Local Littleton. Rely Local has combined online job boards and newspapers to provide you with the most local jobs in the Littleton area. Get connected. We want you to be an active partner in our campaign to rebuild the Littleton economy. Rely Local Littleton, your source for supporting local businesses.
This is Raven with Eggs and Kegs Radio Show here on VRDO, and you're listening to Rockin' Raven.
All right, that was just beautiful.
Thank you.
What's next? Gee, I can't wait.
Well, back on the album, there's a song. I guess the next song after Jocelyn is called Lullaby. And that song is I wrote it while I was in Des Moines, but before I moved to Des Moines, just wrote it. It's about a homeless person, and the love that he has is with the alley. So you when you listen to it, it doesn't sound like it's a homeless person in love with an alley, but that's what it is. So, and it's called Lullaby.
Okay, here's Lullaby by Chris Fairbank.
12 stories high, on my left and my right, I'm alone now. It's dark and it's cold, dirty and old, but I'm home now. The light above the road is what guides me home. It's the light above the road that it makes it home. The cars that pass by, just looking and sigh at my home now. A windowless room with a world to view, that's my home now. The sign that I wear is what they ignore. It's the sign that I wear that makes it home. She's tattered, broken, beautiful and pure. I cry tears of joy when I think of her. I roll over comfortably and I close my eyes to sleep. In my dreams I see my alley angel weep. I missed her too much, it hurt when we touched, so I'm leaving. The sirens they sing as they pull me in while I'm leaving. The blanket that we share just makes me cold. It's the blanket that we share that makes it whole. She's tattered, broken, beautiful and pure. I cry tears of joy when I think of her. I roll over comfortably and I close my eyes to sleep. In my dreams I see my alley angel weep. In my dreams I see my alley angel weep.
So at the beginning of the show, I told you to go out in Colorado, walk around the lake, pay attention, look. You know, dude. How do you do this? That was beautiful and
you.
sad, but beautiful. But oh my God.
I don't. That song.
You've never been homeless.
You're right.
How did you do that?
I mean,
I've
know,
never
it's
been
just-
homeless either. I was 3 days away from living in Emma once, but that's as close as I got.
Well, you know, I think it's just, I don't know. I just did it.
I think you were-
sometimes it comes to you, and sometimes you got to work hard. And that time, I think it was a little bit of both. And I just remember sitting at the piano in my grandparents' house, just playing it, and I think that it just started to come to me, you know, and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, it's true. I mean, there's homeless people out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and you know, since high school, I've been going to a soup kitchen pretty frequently, so
Good
it's
for you.
not something that, you know, I haven't seen, but it's
Right.
also I haven't experienced it, so
But you've experienced it through others.
yeah. I mean,
This is their story.
well, maybe they don't love it as much as it's portrayed in the song, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, but
it's true.
You're writing other people's stories through your eyes.
Yeah, I try.
Awesome. All right. Well, here's another one. This is one of the 2 songs that I've had of Chris's for a while that I've overplayed and over and over and over. And I'm so excited I have more now. But here's I'm Still Here. This one was a long time ago.
Yeah, this is the first song I ever had on the radio. June 6th, I think 2011.
Yeah.
It was a Sunday night on Alice 105.9. Yeah, and so it was on the radio. I almost got in a car accident because I couldn't believe it. And yeah, and so but this is a different recording. You know, we just decided to go completely acoustic. So this is how you'd hear it if you hear me play it.
All right. I'm Still Here.
I'm still here by the river selling water, and I'm still stashing all my letters in my bed. But as the world goes round, I'm lost amongst the found, and dawn turns a black and sky red. And dawn turns a black and sky red, but I'm still here. Now so please accept my currency, and all this money means nothing to me. But as the days go by, time seems out of reach, and the banks are remembered for pennies. And banks are remembered for pennies, but I'm still here, yes, I'm still here. I'm still here in my office working for nothing. Yeah, my paycheck's just a brick on my chest. But as the day turns to night, I know it ain't right, so I keep my soul and I burn all the rest. And I keep my soul and I burn all the rest. But I'm still here, yes, I'm still here. I'm still here by the river sound water. I'm still stashing all my letters in my bed. But as the world goes round, I'm lost amongst the found, and dawn turns to black and sky red. And dawn turns to black and sky red. And dawn turns to black and sky red. But I'm still here, I'm still here, I'm still here, yes, I'm still here.
love it. I love it. What's next? Can I ask what Hopelessly Believin'?
Yeah.
Did you write that about me?
That's a cool song. So while I was in high school, my humanities teacher was requiring us to do some type of assignment, and at the time he also let us write a song. And so I wrote this song about kind of everything that was going on with my life. This was right before I was going to college. I was dating somebody who we were looking at going to different colleges. So this is kind of what I was thinking at that point in time. And yeah, now it's kind of a country song.
All right, let's take a listen. Hopelessly Believin'.
Yeah.
There's an empty road between us that's filled with regret. A pillar stands between us, still with innocence. My dirty shoes prove we've got nothing to lose. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. Now Nashville, Tennessee is where I was meant to be. Chicago, Illinois is where she's from. I missed the train again as they let people in, and I know you're waiting too. I wanna be with you. But am I hopelessly believing you won't believe it? Hopelessly dreaming, yes, you won't believe it. Now the papers prosecute those who come in absolutes, but I've absolutely fallen for you. There's nowhere I can go, nothing I can do, and I know you've fallen too. But am I hopelessly believing you won't believe it? Hopelessly dreaming, yes, you won't believe it. Now I was on the road back to home, and you were on the road all alone. And I asked you if you might need a ride, hoping that you would say yes by my side. But I was hopelessly believing you won't believe it. Hopelessly dreaming, yes, you won't believe it. Hopelessly believing, yes, you won't believe it. Hopelessly dreaming, yes, you won't believe it. Now the papers prosecute those who come in absolutes, but I've absolutely fallen for you.
Nice. Okay, whoever can relate to that song, raise your hand.
Yeah, that was cool that he let us do that for an assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw him.
Did you get an A?
I think so. Yeah, I got an A in the class, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I saw him. I played a show at the what's it called? Mercury.
Mercury
Yeah,
Cafe?
Mercury Cafe. I get it mixed up. We got a place in in
Iowa.
In Iowa called the Mars Cafe, and then there's a place in Nashville called the Mercury Lounge. So Mercury Cafe. I played there last week on the 18th.
Yeah, and I didn't know, did I? No.
Yeah, well, I guess. And so we Sherman, the teacher he was there. He felt bad. I think he got food poisoning, and so he had to leave before I was on. But I got to talk to him about how the song was on there and gave him the album and everything like that. So
nice.
Yeah, I got to see him 4 years later.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? And I bet you he was very proud too.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Yeah. So we got a lot more songs.
Yeah.
We have 5 more that we haven't played yet off this CD.
Yeah.
What do you want to play next?
Well, we don't have to play them all. We've skipped around a little bit, but what are you thinking?
What
do you
about
feel
Good
like?
Evening New York?
That might be a good night song.
Okay,
good
we'll play
goodbye
that
song.
last.
Yeah.
We'll play
That's
that
kind of why I
last.
put there at the end. But
What's Soldiers about?
Soldiers was inspired by I was in my grandpa's condo in Breckenridge, and there was an old hammer, and I started writing, and then it turned into Soldiers, which is about where are the people who are fighting for me, where are my soldiers, is the chorus. So it's kind of like that idea of like, of course I'm fighting for myself, but who else is fighting for me?
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, can we listen to that one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, here's Soldiers.
Leather worn by sweat and dirty hands. Legends born in castles made of sand, and the diamonds hang down low beneath the sky as we lay below. Wonder why my letters ran together, my words bleed through and through, my script fades away in a yellow-bellied hue, and I cried, where are my soldiers? Where are my soldiers? Yeah. There's something that I'm missing, someone I think forgot. There's a place in the road where everyone gets lost, and every map is backwards, a left becomes 2 rights. The world is ready and willing, and I've come to watch the fight. And they cried, where are my soldiers? Where are my soldiers? And I cried, where are my soldiers? Where are my soldiers? I used to sleep alone, my tears made rivers flow. My world was made of nothing but broken sticks and stones. My throne they took away, my stories all but stayed, and it wasn't long before I knew only the rich get paid. And I cried, where are my soldiers? Where are my soldiers? And I cried, where are my soldiers? Where are my soldiers? My letters ran together, my words bleed through and through. My script fades away in a yellow-bellied hue.
You're listening to VRDO, your variety station. Visit our website at www.vrdoradio.com.
there's a girl I know. She'd like to make your guitar. It's really nice for the show. They look good on your back, these old guitar straps. Baby, baby, Raven raps.
So, Soldiers was written because you looked at a hammer at Grandpa's condo.
Yep. That's where that came
Amazing.
from. Yeah, has nothing to do with the hammer, but
But it led you to the right spot.
yeah, that first line really then just kind of took form.
So tell me, why today? Why did you decide to go to Floyd's?
Well, I'm going out of town and then out of the country here pretty soon. So, and I was pushing my hair back and thought, this back here's getting a little long, and if I don't have a haircut for another month, I don't know how I'm gonna look. So maybe today would be a good day to get in.
But why Floyd's?
I asked my brother. I said, "Where's a good place to get a haircut around here?" He said Floyd's. I asked where that was. Yeah,
Isn't that funny?
it's coincidental for sure.
Yeah.
But
I got chills. Something good's gonna come of this, Chris. I'm telling you.
thank you.
So, all mine.
Yeah. Yeah, that song so I play piano, but I was telling you I got too cool for lessons. So I'm only so good. And once I got into guitar was able to teach me a little bit more theory than piano had. And so I was able to kind of transition that back into writing some stuff on piano.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was one of those songs, but I had written it on guitar and then transitioned it onto the piano. And so it just happened to be in the same key initially as Lullaby, the other song with the piano in it. And so when we're in the studio, I play through it once, and then the intern at the time, well, at first they're like, well, that was the same key, not the same chords, but the same key as your other piano song. And we had recorded them right next to each other because...
Right.
And they're not next to each other in the album, but because that's just the way that it was set up. So why not continue recording the piano stuff? And so we're like, okay, well, we'll change the key so that it's a little different. And then we change the key, and then the intern says, when you get to this part right here, you should go lower. You should start higher on the keys and then go lower. And I said, well, how about you kind of show me what you're thinking, because this was a collaborative effort. And
Right.
And this was, just to back up a bit, I recorded the whole album, just vocals and guitar or vocals and piano, depending on the song, before I went abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had these songs, and then when I got back from abroad, we then continued the recording process. So it was very much, two separate worlds almost,
Right.
but at the same time I had these recorded songs and was able to get them in people's hands so that they could hear where we're coming from.
Right.
So this was the very beginning of this process. And so he sits down and he shows me, and he plays what I played, which was simple, but a little intricate, if you have to know how to play piano. And then he just went with it.
Yeah.
I mean, and this guy was good, like really, really good. And I said, do you want to play it? And he goes, no, like you can play it. I'll just, and I said, no, you should play it. You're so good. And so turns out he had been playing for 18 years. This guy is
Wow.
phenomenal piano player. His
Who
name
is he?
Mario Powell. He's a music director at a church, and I don't think it's in Colorado. He was from out of town interning at Evergroove Studios. And so I say, yeah, you're going to play this. You're so good. And so we set it up. He's playing the keys, and we're just facing each other. I had given him my songbook and kind of pointed where kind of the chord structure was, and he felt it, and he was that good and just kind of knew where it was going. And we just looked at each other, and the first take, I messed it up. And then this is the second take. I've just, he had never played it before, and
Wow.
we're just looking at each other and feeding off of each other's energy. So
Chemistry.
yeah, it's
Nice.
all mine.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so this is not me on piano.
There's something about the way something I cannot say. No, I just can't figure it out. Now could it be 'cause we were lost? I didn't even pay the cost. Oh, help me figure it out. How? Now, remember when I looked at you and said I win. I win. I win. I win. I win. 'Cause you're mine, oh mine, and you're mine, mine, oh mine. We met again in a city park. We carved our names in an oak tree's bark, surrounded by a heart. And I looked at you, and you looked at me, and we looked back at that awful tree, surrounded by a heart, by a heart. Oh. But now, remember when I looked at you and said I win. I win. I win. I win. I win. 'Cause you're mine, oh mine, and you're mine, mine, oh mine, and you're mine, oh mine, and you're mine, mine, oh mine. The sky was so clear that night, and your favorite, it shone so bright. If only I took you there. Now maybe the shooting stars were headlights of passing cars, or maybe just holes to heaven, heaven. How? But now, remember when I looked at you and said I win. I win. I win. I win. I win. 'Cause 'cause you're mine, oh mine, and you're mine, mine, oh mine, and you're mine, oh mine, and you're mine, mine, oh mine, and you're mine, mine, oh mine.
Awesome. I'm going to play If There Were a Place. And when we come back, we will talk to Chris about it.
We once were friends, I've forgotten your face. We once were lovers, lovers without a place. He was my brother, hell I don't know why. And I once was trusting in a world full of lies. But if there were a place for me to see with the trees, leave the mountains, then I would forgot all the people that I met. If there were a place for me to see where the water leaves the ocean, then I would gain faith in the peace that I thought once was gone. Then I came across where I was told to bury the hatchet. With a smirk, I just walked right on by, 'cause I can't forgive a world that leaves me with nothing, even though God knows that I try. If I remember, there was a girl I left in a field, more or less a prairie than a field, but a field nonetheless. It was my name I heard in an echo along the way, but it wasn't my name that she cried and that got me to stay. 'Cause we once were friends, but I've forgotten your face. We once were lovers, lovers without a place. And he was my brother, hell I don't know why. I once was trusting in a world full of lies. But if there were a place for me to see where the trees leave the mountains, then I would forgot all the people that I met. If there were a place for me to see where the water leaves the ocean, then I would gain faith in the peace that I thought once was gone. Then I would gain faith in the peace that I thought once was gone. I would gain faith in the peace that I thought once was gone.
You write awesome songs,
Well,
dude.
thank you.
They're just so deep and real, and you haven't experienced a lot of this. You just look at other people and
Yeah, that's true. That was one of the first songs. That's old song, and you can hear how folky I used to be, and it's funny when you listen to Good Evening New York, especially just like how I've transitioned from a very folk sound to a softer sound on my voice. But that's kind of a product.
Well,
of
you
that.
said when you started this in 6th grade with your friend, the drum, the guitarist, you were the drummer, and he was, and you said he was very folky.
Yeah, and he definitely was influential on the songs that I played and listened to. And so there's definitely
growth,
a little bit of that. Yeah, and so I don't really write pop or poppy, but my voice, I really kind of grew into it because I used to sing like Bob Dylan, you know.
Yeah.
That's just the style that I sang in.
Right.
So it was very interesting for me to listen to some of the really, really old recordings of the same song, and see how they transitioned,
Right.
and not remember that I had changed anything. So,
Right.
yeah. But
You know, my oldest son, Sean, was in orchestra from 4th grade to senior year.
oh man.
And watching the video, he had the same orchestra teacher and like probably 75% of the same students.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just amazing to watch the 4th grade one and then the senior concert.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm sure
to
that
see
they were
how,
phenomenal.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen to you in 9 years when you're 30.
Oh wow. Me too, I guess. Yeah, that'll be.
You
that'll
got
be
to come
interesting.
back when you're 30, but I want you to come back again when you do this
Next time
next
I'm in
CD.
town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whenever you're in town. I would love for you
Will
to come
do.
back. So
What are we looking at?
we're looking at,
I guess you've got About Colors and Good Evening New York.
yeah,
are
we're
the
going to do
ones-
Good Evening New York last.
All right. So
What's About Colors?
well, this one, this one I was.
Is this about motorcycle guys?
No, I was. I took bowling my senior year of high school, and took a bowling class, and
Easy A.
a very easy.
You
A.
just have to show up, right?
You do just have to show up. It's an attendance-based class, and so I took bowling, and just this song popped in my head, and I wrote it down.
Because of all the colors of the bowling balls?
You know, I don't know what was the inspiration for it, but this is a song that's very much wordplay, and I just kind of went with it, and
had
what
fun.
just kind of was in my head, I just wrote it down, and there wasn't a particular inspiration. It just kind of popped in my head in bowling class. So,
All right.
4 years ago.
Here's About Colors. Let's take a listen.
There's something that I cannot see. A color stands in front of me, but I turn my head so blatantly unaware. And I guess that I just cannot seem to understand the color scheme the sun has painted so beautifully over there. And I just ask myself, I tell myself to open my eyes, and I know all too well the hopeless spell, condemned to be free. Whoa, oh, whoa, oh, yeah. Whoa, oh, whoa, oh, ra-bum. Describing me, the color wheel, these circles with great mass appeal, these things that seem all too real. In my head, it's something that you cannot feel, smell, a touch, or even still, you cannot even make a meal out of it. And I just ask myself, I tell myself to open my eyes, and I know all too well the hopeless spell, condemned to be free. Don't know where to go from here. Everything but the bank is clear of sovereign truths and memories of the road. The elders, they say, don't you fear. The prophecies don't come from here, where sovereign truths and memories were never told. And I just ask myself, I tell myself to open my eyes, and I know all too well the hopeless spell, condemned to be free. And I just ask myself, I tell myself to open my eyes, and I know all too well the hopeless spell, condemned to be free. And I just ask myself, I tell myself to open my eyes, and I know all too well the hopeless spell, condemned to be free. Whoa, oh, whoa, oh, yeah. Whoa, oh, whoa, oh, ra-ba-da-da-da-da-da, whoa, oh.
is Marisol with the Cymbals, and you're listening to Raven on the Rock.
Bowling class. You
Yep.
just amaze me at the things you write songs that inspire you. And a hammer.
Yeah, life is inspiring sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
I just got a text that said my favorite song of yours is about bowling.
Well,
Maybe not about bowling,
it
but
was inspired by bowling.
yeah, it can be inspired by bowling. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, goodness. So you were at the Mercury Cafe,
That I was.
which next time you're going to, make sure you invite me.
Will do.
But you're going back to school.
Yeah, I am going back to school. Got to keep studying.
Will you be home for spring break?
I'm not. I'll be in Florida, Panama City Beach.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's in Florida.
Everybody's got to go to Florida for spring break.
Yeah, I was out here last year for spring break. It was
Yeah.
quite a lot of fun. Yeah, we went skiing and
Yeah.
I just had a blast. But now we're, seniors in college, and
Right.
just I have a bunch of friends. We're all going down to Florida for a bit.
Yeah.
Have some fun out there. So I look forward to it.
Make a fire on the beach and play your guitar.
I probably will not be bringing my guitar
No!
or starting any fires.
So you're not playing anywhere here anymore for a
Not
while?
in the foreseeable future, no. But I am playing in Des Moines on the 5th at the Vaudeville Muse. So people who are listening that can possibly make it out there should definitely do so, because that'll be exciting. Yeah, I'm excited about that one. So
Just you? Or
no, it's there's a guy who's doing a little album release tour and asked me to hop on for the Des Moines stop. So
Yay.
excited about that.
Yeah.
His name's Max Dvorak, and yeah.
Where's he from?
I believe he's from up north, so I think he's from Minnesota. We just connected over a mutual friend, so I've never met him before. So
that'll be fun.
It'll be exciting. It'll be a fun time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I was, I don't normally get nervous for shows, but I had 2 dreams about this show already, so I don't know
Really?
what that means.
Good
I don't know
dreams?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, there was one that went phenomenal. The other one, I guess I just didn't have my guitar or something. You know those dreams that when you wake up you go, that didn't make any sense.
Right.
That would have never happened, but
Right.
for some reason it did.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a lot of dreams about high school. I can't remember
I
my
think that's
locker combination.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I've heard about stuff like that, as people dreaming that that they're late for school when they're in their 50s or something, and they're worried
Yeah.
about it.
I had my oral surgery 3 weeks ago, and they had me on these painkillers, and whoa, did I have some vivid dreams that I thought were real.
Yeah,
They were
that'll
that
do it.
vivid. And one, my dad, who passed away like 5 or 6 years ago, took my studio apart and was selling it. Was selling my microphones and stuff. What was that about?
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't a supportive person on the microphone purchases, but yeah, those dreams are always interesting.
Yeah, I probably
though.
got the wrong ones according to him. Maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. So
He used to have one of the old ones. The
Like
big heavy.
Oh yeah,
What do you call those?
Like a condenser, I think is what they're called. The metal ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really neat. I wish I had one.
Yeah,
So.
my sister sold it at a garage sale.
Darn.
Yeah, I know. She didn't realize, and she had the garage sale before I could get back to Illinois. So
Well, those are always really cool microphones.
yeah, I'm sure I can get one on eBay.
Yeah, you can, but they'll be expensive. I thought about recording one of the songs on one of those microphones, but
Yeah.
the sound, it wouldn't have
Right.
really fit with what I was doing. It's pretty soft stuff, and
Right.
that's not necessary to do. So
Yeah, they're cool for videos. Though.
they definitely look cool. That's so true.
They do look very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna play "Good Evening, New York." You want to tell me why you wrote this?
Where?
Were you in New York?
I wasn't in New York, but
You saw an apple.
I was in my basement.
And you saw an apple.
No, actually, I think 16 and Pregnant was on TV for this one. And I was inspired yet again.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, some of these songs, a lot of the songs that I've written recently are very, what I'm saying has depth, but sometimes the inspiration is pretty shallow.
Right.
You know, the line doesn't make much sense, but when I'm writing, you know, like I said, sometimes it just comes to you, and yeah, I mean, you might hear 16 and Pregnant in this, or you might not. I don't know.
All right, well, let's take a listen to Good Evening, New York.
Good evening, New York. Sleep another light at night. Good evening, New York. In the morning, the birds sing for freedom. Good evening, New York, where the fire's above the city. Good evening, New York, the city above the clouds. My precious New York, the subway streamline us to tomorrow. Good evening, New York. Sidewalk soldiers fight oppression in their basements while choking on greed. And teenage mothers hide depression while their babies cry out in need. Good evening, New York, where the fire's above the city. Good evening, New York, the city above the clouds. My precious New York, the subway streamline us to tomorrow. Good evening, New York. Turn our heads to tragedy as city skywalks the shout of the homeless. We turn our heads to reality as the sick and stricken are left alone. Good evening, New York, where the fire's above the city. Good evening, New York, the city above the clouds. My precious New York, the subway streamline us to tomorrow. Good evening, New York. Good evening, New York. Sleep another light at night. Good evening, New York. In the morning, the birds sing for freedom. In the morning, the birds sing for freedom.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I am so sorry we're out of time. I could just keep going with you and talking.
Well, that is the whole album. So
that is the whole album.
Yeah,
and don't forget,
plus some extras.
Yeah, and from the next album that we can't wait for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't wait for it. You can get your copy of Letters for the Wind at chrisfairbankmusic.com. It's only $9.99 for 13 songs.
Yeah, you can get it on iTunes, or if you're cheap and you want to listen to it on Spotify, that's definitely a way to go. There's also a Pandora station, which is a pretty nice station. So if you click on there, I only come up every once in a while, so you can get some good tunes without just listening to me, which is that's a good study station.
Yeah.
So.
And you can always listen to this show in the archives again. We got to let Grandpa and Papa listen because, again, thank you, Papa, for putting Grandpa's guitar in the car. And thank you, Mom and Dad, for encouraging your son. He certainly has a talent and a gift.
Well, thank you very much.
And
I appreciate that.
I
and I'm
can't
sure
wait
they
to
will
see
too.
what's coming next. And you are such a nice young man, too. They did a good job. I have 4 boys. I know how hard that is.
Well, thanks.
And I'm looking forward to hearing something from your brother, too.
I'll let him know. He's got to get in the studio.
Yeah, that would be fun. And you come back anytime.
Will do.
Wednesday night, I will be at the Toad Tavern ringing in the new year with Remus Tucker. And if you're going out and about on Wednesday, please be careful. Don't drink and drive. Call a taxi. I hear Michael Sawaya will pay for your taxi, too, so give him a call.
He always does that.
He does, and that's great. All right, and don't you all forget out there, only you can make your dreams come true.
That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be back. Raven on the Rock is brought to you by Rock and Raven Productions and the Scoop 303. I'd like to give a shout out to our musical credits for our intro, The World Famous Johnsons, our exit, Garco, and our Raven Raps commercial by Michael Hornbuckle. I'd like to thank Rely Local Littleton for sponsoring us, and you can check out all our advertisers on the left side of our website, ravenontherock.com. I'd also like to thank all the amazing musicians in Denver and around the world for sharing their music with us.